Great. Hello, everybody. GM, everybody. Welcome to our last developer workshop series right here. Today, we have Heston from Klaytn. Obviously, cross Klaytn as a senior manager from us on the Klaytn treasuries and incubations. Myself, Neil, again, that you see me again. I am the head of tech advocacy at Klaytn. Today, we are on to a topic about Klaymakers22. Obviously, it's about onwards and upwards Klaymakers. Essentially, you couldn't actually tell what this is about, by the name suggested in the topic. Essentially, we would like to run through all these potential opportunities that you, as a hackers, could have after the hackathon. What we can keep supporting you to be successful or start or keep building on Klaytn ecosystem. So just like every developer workshop that we had in the past, if you haven't registered to be building on Klaymakers22, this is your time right now. You can scan a little QR code right there on the top right, and you will be sending to the DoraHacks main pages for the Klaymakers22, where you can submit your hackathon implementations. So I just want to say, Klaymakers22 won't be possible without the support from our sponsors and the community partners, as you can see from the screen. And individual sponsors, they do have their own sponsor challenge, which other than the main track that we have been talking about, please pop over to the DoraHacks website and have a look at your submissions. If you feel like your implementation is related to the sponsor challenges, feel free to include them as well. So like we just kickstarted previously 2 weeks ago when we have the ceremony, and I just want to give you a very the overview of the Klaymakers22 hackathon right here. You feel like this is actually a virtual global hackathon 2022 for Klaytn for this year. And the prize pool, the cash prize that we talk about right here in Klay is actually 360 in total. And then we have the five main tracks and 6 sponsored challenges, which we call the bounties as you can see from the DoraHacks platform. And that will be covering 5 main tracks, the core plus, mostly for improving the core protocol, any implementation that you can think of, or toolings ideas about core engineering and core protocol, that is always welcome into this track. And very quickly, when you look at Metaverse and NFT, by the name suggested, is everything, the toolings or the use cases about the NFT or Metaverse that will be falling in this track or under this track. And DAO to us is the toolings or implementations around it. They're always welcome. And Fine Plus is mainly derived from DeFi and mostly related to DeFi, obviously, but DeFi could be derived into different 5 what we call the finance categories nowadays, into more specific like GameFi, MetaFi, or social fine. And there's so many things that the implementations, the use cases people can, like yourself, hackers, can actually think of and to contribute to this. And maybe the tools around it will also be really welcoming, because the main goals right here for us is to have as many open source packages or open source masterpieces that built by you guys available to the Klaytn ecosystem, or also wider blockchain industry for people to reuse. This is the whole idea why we would like to have the hackathon. And obviously we want you to start and keep building on Klaytn ecosystem with the reward that you deserve. And that's why we would like to talk about reward in this developer workshop. I just want to say that the public goods one is mostly the blockchain ecosystem like us should pay more attention to, and that's why we have the public good track right here for developers like you. Then you think about some kind of use cases you would like to implement, which are related to the public goods and have some certain level of social impact to the industry or to our society. I think this is something that we would love to have as well. So now this is the last workshop for the developer workshop series that we have. We had the global kickoff already, and there will be a demo day a week after the deadline, which is September 30. So you think about October 3rd, it will be the demo day kickstarted. And then obviously today we will start airdropping the 200 lucky developers right here that we have, about the $50 worth of the AWS credit for their use cases, so that when you're trying to host something on AWS, you don't actually have to pay for your own use cases. Only for the top 200. I mean, first come, first serve, and first come, first in. Obviously, we will be giving the airdrop to the first 200 lucky developers that we have participating in this hackathon. Like last time, if you do have any questions about Klaymakers22, feel free to pop it over to the Discord and I have your questions right there. I'm quite sure very soon, in a very short period of time, your answers will be answered. Sorry, your questions will be answered. And today, when we talk about onwards and upwards Klaymakers, essentially we would like to go through with you about all incubators, grants, and investment opportunity after the hackathon. But we would like to, we know that there will be opportunities that we keep talking about is over 1 million, combining with the cash prices 360K. This 1 million is actually making up of a lot of opportunities in incubators, in grants, in different investment that will be way more than 1 million. That's why we didn't put the specific amount right there. We only put the specific amount, 360K for the cash prices for our hackers. And altogether, we are talking about over 1 million opportunities for our developers right there participating in the Klaymakers22. So coming up, Heston will take it away to give us a bit more intro and some overviews about individual opportunities available for our hackers for Klaymakers22. Heston, take it away.
Thanks for the introduction, Neil. Hi, this is Heston from Cross Universe, and I'm Senior Manager of Ecosystem Planning Team of Klaytn Foundation. For Klaytn, I'm managing Foundation's treasury to foster Klaytn ecosystem and also organizing incubation programs and services for Klaytn projects. In July, Incubation Center was founded in Cross Universe, and our goal is to connect early stage projects on Klaytn with good accelerators to grow. So ultimately, we want to take a role to help the convergence between Web2 and Web3 industries. As you know, Klaytn has a firm background in South Korea internet industry from Kakao, and we will utilize that unique position as an innovator. To do so, we are meeting lots of both enterprises and crypto startups to make synergies recently. So good global partners are essential to this goal, and we will make efforts to secure them. Klaytn Foundation is already in progress with F10 for global incubation programs, and we added Korean accelerator firm Encoding Labs in August. Neil, please go to the first slide, please. Yeah. The first slide, I will talk to you when I need a slide change. The upper slide. Sorry for that. Yep. So I mentioned about F10 for global incubation programs, and we added Korean accelerator firm Encoding Labs in this August. The team, our team also secured enough WeWork all access seats that can be used all over the world. Thus, if our global partners need some workplaces, we can consider those collaborations too. And we are closely connected with Klaymakers22 and pleased to announce that outstanding projects from Klaymakers will receive additional post-hackathon support, such as incubation, grants, and investment opportunities to help them go to the next level. Next slide, please. Yeah, as I mentioned, Crust started its first official incubation program with Korean accelerator firm Encoding Labs in August. In the first quarter of 2022, we are targeting to incubate around 5 to 8 early stage projects that are based on Klaytn mainnet. And I believe you guys are interested in who Encoding Labs people are So Encoding Labs is composed of professionals from both the traditional corporates and crypto industry. The team includes entrepreneurs, investors, engineers, and industry experts from big brands such as Samsung Financial Group, SK Telecom, Google Korea, so etc. for top-tier incubation deal flows and upgrade operation across the industry. Also, they have strong capabilities in communicating with global projects. So we strongly believe that they will take a role, really important role as a global facilitator on behalf of Trust and Klaytn. The startup entity of Klaymakers22 winner projects will be introduced to Trust Incubation Program operated by Encoding Labs. If the projects want the program and we select them, startups will be included in the first cohort of Trust Incubation Program. Bill from Encoding Labs is also in this call, and if you guys have any questions, ask us later in Q&A session, please. Next slide, please. Yeah, I want to give you some more explanation about what Encoding Labs does. Cross Incubation Program projects will be served with core consulting, including business modeling, economics advisory, legal and finance advisory, and co-marketing opportunities with Klaytn Foundation. As an incubation partner of Klaytn and strategic backer for Klaytn DFs, we believe Encoding Labs is the company that can bring mass adoption of blockchain technology through investment guides, business development operations, technical support, go-to-the-market strategy guides, community management, and legal and financial consulting. Next, please. Yeah, depending on the nature of the projects, your projects, and in case the projects are not interested in participating in incubation programs we offer, these projects could apply for our KGF grant process so as to be financially supported by the foundation to keep building on Klaytn ecosystem. Through the link inside in the slide, Klaytn Foundation is collecting the details of your project and will make a decision whether the grant will be helpful to our ecosystem. Next slide, please. We also have KIR, which is also funded by Klaytn Foundation and open to all developers that make progresses in Klaytn infrastructure. It can be also applied through the link in the slide, and we will decide whether this is priceless or not. Yeah, if the selected startup is too mature to be considered for incubation, they can be invited to be considered for Klaytn EcoFund portfolios too. In the second quarter of 2022, the Klaytn Foundation established Klaytn EcoFund to invest projects on Klaytn ecosystem. Global VCs, venture capitals that have regional networks and expertise are taking responsibility as general partners to invest on behalf of the Klaytn Foundation, which will further expand the Klaytn ecosystem. Finalists of Klaymakers22 will be introduced to Klaytn ecosystem investors via demo day or through the whole processes. And winners can take advantage of Klaytn Foundation and cross-universe investment network. I believe this will be really big incentive for the new ventures. And I believe this can be also the reason for making decisions to start some projects on Klaytn ecosystem. Yep, this is for the incubation grant investment opportunities for Klaymaker22 applicants. And I believe Neil will share more information for more.
Great, thank you, Heston. Obviously, Heston covers so many things already in a blink of eyes. Obviously, we cover incubations. Obviously, we have incubation program with Encoding Labs, which will be the executor of the incubation program that we have right here. We talk about KGF or KIL grants. Those two are actually with different focuses and will be available to a startup company if they do have specific use cases they would like to go with. And as you can see, say like if you take KIL as an example, everything is really open source. The whole process is open. We explain everything right here, what it should be focused on, and stuff like some kind of what will the process will be looking like. There will be a guideline talking about month in, month out. We have different rounds of the KIL. Currently, we are on to the 18th KIL rounds. We're looking at so many innovations from our ecosystem partners, and also people potentially will become our the ecosystem partners with the grants, with the tools that they will be built. There are just too many process that you can actually go with. There's so many opportunities about the reward that you can look at. And yeah, so that is all from Heston when it comes to the post hackathon opportunities that we talk about. And I also personally would like to shed some light on the developers if they're looking at some smaller grants, not something really major, like large amount of it. They want to build something feature in, feature out. We first of all, if you want to have a Web3 ecosystem and community, and you need to onboarding more developers into these, and we understand that. So going forward, also not going forward, but actually we have planned some kind of developer bootcamp with the learn to earn models that will be going out to these to be released in October, in next month. And we also will have some kind of small grant, what we call the Klaytn developer bounty platform, which you will see so many open grants being created from the ecosystem partners or from the Klaytn protocol directly, and for you, the hackers, to contribute to it directly with your implementation. Once your implementation got merged to the developer or the master branch, and we will define that later when we have the announcement, and you will get the reward right away based on your contributions. And this is something that we would like to see, and to see more open source contributions from you and from the developer community. And at the same time, we want you to be incentivized to build more features and build more meaningful pieces onto the Klaytn ecosystem. There will be something more that we talk to different hackathon organizer or bounties partners, for example, DoraHacks. There will be some plans about the Klaytn developer grants for startup, mainly focused. If they would like to go with incubators, fine. If they would like to go with different grants, it's totally fine. They also have the opportunity right here to go with some dedicated developer grants that is based on some concept of the quadratic funding. That will be another option for our developers right here. So here, altogether, Heston and myself, we cover all the potential opportunities after KLAYMAKERS22. And as you can see, this is the final developer workshop that we have from the series. And you can also view all the previous developer workshop that we had, 101, which I gave, and different KLAYMAKERS22 challenges, as it can remind you what is it about. You can actually look into whether you can submit for the challenges, the sponsored challenges, what we call the bounty at the same time. And you can also look at something from the top level all the way down to the low level. When I said about low level, is something not really easy like CKP, you can also cover, look at the topic being covered right here. And all the way down, you can revisit this recording and to look at what kind of opportunities after you submit it, you become a winner, you become the finalist, what could be the route for you after the KLAYMAKERS22, and for you and your company to start or keep building on Klaytn ecosystem. So when I talk about the previous developer workshop, you can always go back to our landing pages, and you can click or whatever, go OSVP right here. You will always go to the YouTube channel to see the recordings that we have. but we will be updating the landing page so that you can just click it and go into individual workshop right away. And that will be something that you will be foreseeing going forward. I would like to just say it again, if you haven't submit your builder, you need to do it right now. The cash price is really, really generous during a bear market that we are in, and for different track. And we would like to see your submissions. At least you will be running in a competition with others to win the prizes together. And currently, when I refresh the page, I think we got 52 submissions at the moment. We still have 17 more, I would say 18 days to go. And then that will be it for everything. If you need to have more details, everything is on the DoraHacks pages about the workshop, all the links right here. The prices, we made it really clear right here, and also the sponsor bounties from individual sponsor, 10K per each in Klay, and some maybe in USDT in stable coin. And so that will be everything that you can get one at a time, and everything together at one time, you know, on the DoraHacks pages right here. If you haven't submitted, you need to do it right now, or maybe you can create a builder now. You can submit it later before the deadline. If you do have any more questions about Klaymakers22, feel free to you know, go over to this link, and you will be going to the Discord to have your questions. I'm quite sure we got some questions from the audience, but yeah. So if you do have any questions, right, please take it away, and I think that will be the time right now for us to answer your live questions. Great. Okay, looks like we have one questions I can see. The questions is about mostly, I think we answered that already. The questions is about, if I'm not being made a finalist, will I still be open to these opportunities that Heston cover? So I think I will take it first, Heston. So as we put it right here, only finalists will be introduced to Klaytn ecosystem investor, but we didn't say that only the finalists will be able to be introduced to the opportunities that we present right here. So basically, when you look at incubators and the investment opportunity or grants, I think, of course, this is prioritized to the finalists of the Klaymakers22. But like I said, the opportunities are there, they're really open. And we, from the Crust team or the Klaytn team, and also other sponsors that you see, they were always looking into your implementation, your perfect implementation, and they will make the judgment whether they would like to invite you over to different opportunities that you won't be expecting in the first place. So you might be thinking about this only about the cash prize that you're trying to win, but this is not. This is about the post-hackathon opportunities that you might have. Because Hackathon will only give you the quality solutions, but we would love to make you to become a successful services running on the Klaytn ecosystem. And that's why the opportunities will be open to everybody. Only the investment and incubators opportunities will be prioritized to the finalists. And these are the opportunities that I keep talking about, that bounty or grants, you can actually look into it, and we will send the invites to you when we look at your submissions, you're really close to become the finalist, but we see a potential in your submissions. We will be inviting you via the DoraHacks connections into one of our opportunities right here. But I guess maybe Heston got some more to cover, if Heston would like to have something to add on this front.
Yeah, I believe our judges can find out the projects that have really big potentials. But yeah, as Neil said, we should consider there are some more really good priceless projects under the finalist. So yeah, as an incubator, accelerator, or investors, we should find the whole projects really consciously, and we are really hoping to find really good ones. So yeah, it will not be limited to those finalists for those opportunities, but as Neil said, it can be prioritized in that sense.
Great. Thank you. I think that will be the answer from us. So maybe we can take one more questions. Let me just have a look. Okay, we have one more. This is asking how many company or project team would be considered by the incubators program?
Sorry, can you repeat the question, please? I
So
can see the
how many teams could be included in the incubators program? So do we have a quota on this one? I think that will be something that we can go with as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I will answer on behalf of Bill from Encoding Labs. As the one cohort, we are thinking of 4 to maximum 8 projects in one cohort, but I don't think it is not decided yet, because we are actually meeting the projects on a rolling basis, and we do not have any timeline deadline for the cohort. So yeah, the maximum number can be up to 7 to 8, but there are still more rooms.
So maximum will be 7 to 8 at the same time for one cohort, and the cohort will be on rolling basis.
Yeah, we are thinking of that.
Great. So for the crust, I think I may just to ask another one right here, based on this one that I saw. For the incubation center that we have, we kind of found it already. And at the same time, the first program that we are working on is actually collaborating with the Encoding Labs. And this will be the incubation program that will kickstart it with the Crust Web3 Incubators Center right here. So I just want to have the audience to have a bit background on this one as we explain. So I guess that will be all the questions that we have. Like I said again, if you haven't submit your build, do it right now. And if you do have any further questions, go to Discord, and other questions we will just take it from there. And just want to say thank you very much for your time for today, being with us and being with us with all the developer workshop that we have in the past 2 to 3 weeks. And finally, this is the final versions, final lecture, or maybe the workshop that we have. And now it will be your turn to shine, to have your implementation and be part of the Klaytn ecosystem and Klaytn future, like Klaytn 3.0, as I suggested in the first place in my Klaytn 101 session. Thank you very much for your time. We will see you again on the Metaverse, or hopefully we will see you again during the live demo sessions in the first week of October. Thank you very much. Speak soon. Bye-bye.